Next up, I'd like to welcome Mr. Nick Brandel. You can you can see him this weekend. He's hosting at Skyline Comedy Club. Mr. Nick Brandel.
If you need to pee during my set, go ahead. I am not here to stop you. If it's a number 2, that's up to you. I can feel your glares. I will answer your question. Conscious decision. I went online, I saw these pants, and I said, stop drilling, you have hit oil. They just came out with lobster pants. Ben purchased, don't worry. They are golf pants. I had to coach a high school girls golf meet this afternoon. And if you think watching golf on television with professionals is tedious, try 9 holes with a bunch of sophomore girls. I was 1 4-putt away from jumping directly into oncoming traffic. But there is nothing more inspiring than watching that 20-foot putt drop so McKinley could fight her way to that 9. McKinley with 2 Ks, by the way. We'll get to that later. I am a public high school teacher. Thank you. No need for applause. We get enough adoration from the community at large as it is. We don't need any more. Some legislators would like to put something in to give us guns as public high school teachers. No. I work with people, I see them walking with a protractor and I get nervous. I'm like, hey, let's just talk it over, all right? It can be an obtuse angle if you want it to be. I'm totally fine with that. What we need is graph paper and colored pencils. If you could get us that, that'd be great. That is currency where I work, all right? True story. We get 2 shipments of copy paper every year, 1 for each semester. Like clockwork, with a week left in the semester, we will get an email from our secretary that says, we're a little low on copy paper right now. I know finals are coming up, so be a little mindful, and by that word, you can hear the teachers running to the copy room. And they're just going there because they know they have to print their finals, right? Me, at the beginning of each semester, I take 2 reams of paper and I put them in my desk drawer for that situation. Because they come running into the copy room and it's a little dimly lit now and I'm in the corner and I feel like Pablo Escobar. So I see you come running in here right now. What's your name, man, huh? Well, you got a final for your English 3 class of my sim, man? Okay, we can work that up. What are you there, one-sided? No. That's like burning half of my stash right there. We go 2-sided, back to front. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you talk to the health teacher? Mr. Gerhardt, he's had a great final on the reproductive system. Picture of a uterus, it's beautiful. I'll put that on the back. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm doing a favor for you here, all right? True story. That happens all the time. Summer vacation coming to a close. One of the reasons I teach, because I get summers off and I get to golf all the time. It's great. But the one thing we have coming up, we have meetings coming up, and I just hate these meetings, because we have these things called restorative circles. I don't know if you have this at work. I call them bitch spheres, because basically everyone is in a circle, and you just bitch about everything that goes on during the day. And at my school, we have 1,627 reasons to bitch every day. So we get there, and we did one time, they do these icebreakers. Don't you love icebreakers? Oh, like, you get the one person that's leading, it's like, okay, we're gonna have a little koosh ball here. This is the talking point. You cannot talk without this, so you can pass it around. We're just gonna talk about, what is the best thing that's happened to you? No, I would rather just drive my car off of a bridge. But one of them they talked about, they said, we're gonna talk about, why don't we talk about the best family vacation you ever had growing up? And I said, okay. They started to my left, we went clockwise, I knew I was gonna be last. People are talking, they're like, oh, we went to Disney World when I was like 10. Oh man, Orlando, the happiest place on earth. But I was there, and like 10 minutes after getting in, a bird pooped on my shoulder. Just ruined the trip for me. I'm 8, and oh God, what am I gonna do? And the next person's like, well, we went to the Grand Canyon. We drove there, it's like 28 hours, unbelievable. And we got there and it rained in the desert. Do you believe that? Just ruined everything for everybody. And it gets all the way around to me and they're like, Mr. Brandel, would you like to talk? And I'm like, I've been waiting this entire time. And I have some things to say because you guys are talking about all your vacations, and I'm gonna tell you this. I grew up on a dairy farm just outside of Manitowoc, Wisconsin. We took 0 vacations. While you were getting pooped on at Disney World, I was spending 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, picking rocks off the ground and putting them into a wagon and repeating the process. I was hoping a bird would poop on my shoulder so I had some sort of sustenance while I was out there. A vacation, I didn't know, when I was growing up, I thought people were kidding. Vacations, I didn't think Florida existed until I was 15. I couldn't prove it, I'd never been there, it was only on TV. Miami Vice, Don Johnson, bullshit. Oh. But then, we never went on vacations, and I asked my mom, was there at any point the 5 of us got in the car and left Manitowoc County for 4 more hours? Took her 4 days to respond. She said, yes. In 1984, your eldest sister had to get orthotics for her shoes. We went to the doctor in Manitowoc and they could not provide them, so he sent an order in and said, in a week, pick these up in Appleton, Wisconsin. So we loaded up the 1976 brown Plymouth Volare with a slant 6 engine. If you know anything about engines, that was a great goddamn car. No seat belts, and we drove to Appleton, picked up my sister's orthotics, and then we went, buckle up, to the Fox River Mall, where my dad got some new work boots, my mother got some new clothes to wear at her second job, which was working in the library at the elementary school I went to. My eldest sister, who got the orthotics, she got a couple of things because she felt bad because she was crippled, for Christ's sake. My youngest sister got a dress for her first communion, and I got nothing. So there's your vacation right there. I asked kids when I was in elementary school, they'd be gone for 10 days. They'd come back, I'm like, where were you? Oh, we were on vacation. We went to visit some family in San Diego. It was good. You just went for 10, what? What did you do? We just hung out with family. We went to the zoo. What did your parents do for work? They didn't have to work. They had 10 days off. What? They didn't work for 10 days? How did you live? Did you get food? We would die if that would happen. So yeah, vacations. Come from a long line of family members that didn't go on vacations though. My dad went on 2 vacations in his life. In 1995, he went with my mom to Reno, Nevada to visit her sister. I know this because the Packers beat the San Francisco 49ers that weekend in divisional playoff. My friends were over at the house after my parents told me not to have a party. 12 hours later, friends were there, broke the lamp. The lamp was broken for 20 years until my parents moved to a different house, and my mom went to move it, and it fell to the ground, and I said, what'd you do? He went there, and then my dad's second vacation previously was in 1969. He had an all expenses paid year-long vacation to Vietnam. So, yeah. You want to know how I find that out? Rhetorical question. Gonna tell you anyway. I was playing hide and seek with my sisters, and I hid in my parents' closet in their bedroom. Yeah, you don't go in your parents' bedroom when you're a kid, right? So I went in there, I went in the corner, and I knelt down and I knocked something over. It was a gun. Not only a gun, but a gun he brought back from Vietnam through the Oakland airport that he took off of an individual that he had killed. Yeah, from that moment forward, never talked back to my dad again. He's got 2 confirms for crying out loud. Oh. Anybody have kids? We're gonna move on. Different subject. Anybody have kids? Good? Anybody consider themselves an environmentalist in any way? Wow. All right. Okay, let's go down to the Amazon. It's lit right now. No one should have agreed to those 2 things. Those 2 things are mutually exclusive. You cannot have children and be concerned with the environment, because children are the biggest waste of resources that we have on the planet right now. I know people that were married. I went to their house. Everything was neat, in order, everything put away. They're always having parties. They have a kid. You go there now, it's just like, here's plastic. Here's this bags of diapers that are going to be used, and jars, and bottles, and nipples, and it's just, we don't give a shit anymore. Have you ever lived next to a couple that has like a newborn? And like Wednesday is garbage day, and it's Tuesday, and they are just praying that they're not going to overfill that thing. But they are stuffing dirty diapers down there. They don't give a crap. I'm 40, never been married, never had kids. Let me put it to you this way. Has your garbage man ever performed a welfare check on you? That happened to me last summer. I was sitting after golfing, it was 9:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, and all of a sudden I hear the garbage truck pull up, hear a door slam, and then all of a sudden, I open the door, yes, oh, do you live here? Yes, that's why I'm in here and you're out there. So we just wanted to check because you haven't had garbage in like 3 weeks. We're worried about you. I mean, it's 2/3 full right now. If you want, I can take it out if it makes you feel better. But I just don't create that much garbage. Yeah, I mean, you haven't had recycling out either. We didn't know if you were dead. Okay, well, I'm glad my tax money is going to garbage men who care. They're so good. You ever watch children eat? Like toddlers. I'm moving on to like 3 to 5-year-olds right now. Teenagers, yeah, but they just inhale. They don't chew. They're like ducks, you know. But as far as toddlers, they're sociopaths when they eat. They really are. I was just at a cookout on Sunday, and they were cooking out skinless hot dogs, and they grilled it and gave it to a 5-year-old, and I watched this kid peel off the layer of skin that's not there, peeled it all off. He didn't stop there. He peeled off a second layer of skin that is not there, and then I have to ask, what's up? I just don't like the skin. All right, go to town. Now, at this point, the hot dog is off the plate. We're outside. He is peeling it on a patio table, which is just full of bird poop and dead bugs and dog hair, and it's just rolling around in there, and he's just snapping off and eating that, and I'm like, dude, you do you, man. That is... Or kids in chicken nuggets that peel off the breading, and then they eat just like the gelatinous fibers. And it's like, you just took off the best part. I once saw a kid eat half a French fry. Image just went in your head. French fry in mouth, ate it in half. Nope. Lengthwise. He chewed exactly in half lengthwise. And then he bit the end off of it and he started crying. That ruined his day. And I'm like, it's not like you ate the bottom when you were supposed to eat the top. What is wrong with you? Good Lord. Recently turned 40. You are right not to clap at that at all. A lot of things change when you turn 40. First, your outlook on life and death changes when you're 40. When I was growing up, my grandfather, who lived to be 94 years old, whenever he came over, we always asked him, "Grandpa, how you doing?" He always had the same answer. "Well, you know, I wake up, drink my coffee, have breakfast, drive over to your dad's farm here to see if he has any work to do. Usually eat dinner here, drive home, might go polka dancing with my girlfriend, and then I go to bed and pray I don't wake up. I'm like, that is a weird thing to say to a 9-year-old, man. Like, I love you and everything, but damn. Then I turn 40 and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. I totally get what he means now. It's like my attitude towards roller coasters. Like, 89 was the first year I went to Great America. Batman movie came out, Batman the ride, awesome. I am just scared, lifeless. I'm not gonna ride this thing, it's gonna be awful. Best day of my life, rode it like 20 times, Iron Wolf, all that good stuff. Dude, let's go back. Then I graduate college, get a job, buy a car, read a story in the newspaper about a kid from Sandusky, Ohio that was decapitated on a roller coaster, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to risk it. I have a lot to live for. You know, I could get married, have kids, just not worth it right now. I turned 40 and I'm like, you know, it's only an 8-hour drive to Sandusky, Ohio. And I can just go there and give them $500, ride that same ride all day, see if it knocks my block off. That would be great. What kind of rides you got here? You got one that made Neil Armstrong throw up and piss himself? That'd be great. Something an astronaut can't even handle? No? Okay. What else changes drinking changes when you're 40? Oh my God. Recently went to Vegas, 24 hours. I remember 7 minutes of it. Not kidding you. People are sending me Snapchats and stuff like, oh, I guess oh man, am I kissing him? Okay, whatever. But I can drink a half a bottle of bourbon in one night, wake up the next day, I'm totally fine. I mix 2 craft beers and I just want to die. Like, there was a bachelor party I went to, and I just go to bachelor parties at this point. I hate going to like strip clubs and stuff like that, but at this point in my life, I just want to see a boob in 3D again, so it's, you know, that's all I'm really worried about. And we just drank, it was like, dude, we're tequila and beer, and no laws when you're drinking claws, bitch, and doing all this kind of stuff. And I woke up the next day, and I'm not a religious person, but at that point, I knew my body and my soul were 2 different entities. Because I woke up and my body was in bed, but my soul had said, fuck it. It was out on the couch watching Netflix. Like, if you're gonna keep doing this to me, I'm gonna leave at this point. I had to beg your liver to stay in your body and knock it off. Worst part about turning 40 though, dating. Again, never been married, never have kids, single. And dating, like, oh God, it just shows you what a dumpster fire society is. Anybody ever use social media dating sites? Exactly, yeah. Because you see people on there and you're just like, oh. And turning 39 to 40, like I'm 39, someone sees my profile, they're like, maybe, and I turn 40, they're like, ew, creepy. Not anymore. But there are some people that says they're 36 and then you look at their picture and you're like, you got a lot of city miles on you, don't you? Holy cow. You know, they make them with filters now, you know. Jeez. I like to go to bars. Well, there's 3 places I will not meet a woman, I've said this. At a bar, at a casino, and Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Those are the 3 places. Those are known. And I'm from there. But I went to a bar, and I'm sitting there watching the Brewer game. Seat next to me is open, and some nice young lady comes over and says, "Is this seat taken?" And I said, "I don't care. It's a free country. Sit there if you want. Just don't talk to me. Don't no eye contact." I mean, couple days later, same thing. Girl sits down, just doesn't even say anything. We're watching the game, and then she starts like, "Oh, they should just release Travis Shaw. He's just awful." You know, the Brewers really haven't had a first baseman that you can trust since Prince Fielder. Oh. Hi, my name is Nick. Hi, my name is Erica, but it's spelled E. Stop right there, we're done. I do not have enough time, energy, or deodorant for this conversation. It's either E-R-I-C-A or E-R-I-K-A in a rare case. If you have an extra A or an Y in your name, just get the fuck out of here. Don't have the energy for that. Met a girl on a social media site. We went for a date. She said, "Let's do trivia." I said, that's a bad idea. I'm the dork and I'm really competitive. And she's like, no, let's go. So we did this trivia, this bar trivia. Like, she answered like the Friends and Sex and the City questions, and I answered everything else. And it got to the end, and we were in second place. There were teams that were, like professors from the university, and we were in second place, right? And you can wager points. And she said, let's wager 0. And I'm like, oh, go big or go home, bitch. What are you? It's like the difference between $10. Category, world leaders. Okay, I'm a history major, this will be good. I need the middle names of these 4 American presidents. She is writing 0 on the card, and I'm like, hold on. And he said, Ulysses S. Grant, Harry S. Truman, James K. Polk, and Warren G. Harding. She's writing 0 and handing it in. I grab her with this hand as I'm writing and going through everything, and I'm like, okay. Ulysses S. Grant's middle name was Ulysses because his real name is Hiram Ulysses Grant. When he signed up for the Army, the clerk wrote down his name wrong, but he thought U.S. Grant would be pretty cool for joining the Army. Harry S. Truman didn't have a middle name, but when he was running for president in 1941, his campaign manager decided the middle name would be good, so he could be Thomas Dewey. That's awesome. James K. Polk's middle name is Knox. He was Knoxville. This guy was founded after that. Everyone knows Warren G's middle name is Gamaliel. All right, awesome. And we were the only team that got that question correct. Ended up in first place, but not kidding. When they said we were in first place, she literally got up, looked at me and said, wow, you are a fucking dork, and left. Good news, we won the gift certificate. She left her debit card at the bar. I knew the bartender, and I bought everyone a drink. I am going to leave you with this one though. Growing up, my dad had a friend from Vietnam. This guy was crazy. He was married 4 times. He has 4 bullet holes in him. He has 1 bullet that's still lodged in his spine right here. He loved Vietnam so much the first time he decided to come back, and then stayed in the Army for a bunch of years. And then he told me, once you get a job, what you need to do, start a separate savings account. Put money in there, here or there. So that someday, if someone decides they're gonna love you enough to spend the rest of your life, you can buy an engagement ring, you can maybe help pay for the wedding, you can have a honeymoon, you can put a down payment on a car. I started that savings account when I was 13 years old. I'm 40 now. What I can tell you about that amount of money for saving that long is that the 2017 Lincoln MKZ is a very sporty sedan. It gets 31 miles per gallon. You get free satellite radio and sat nav, heated and cooled leather seats, and the best part about it, because someone asked me, would you rather have a car than a girlfriend? When I'm driving down the road and there's something wrong with my car, I get an alert email. It flashes up on the screen that something is wrong, and it automatically makes an appointment for me at the dealership, knowing what is wrong with the car. It's not like I'm driving around Highway 41, and all of a sudden I hear a noise, and hear, I'm fine!
Mr. Nick Brandel, everybody.